very warm hello. My name is Maximilian from docu. In today's video, I want to show you how to properly document construction progress digitally in docu. Here you can already see my first construction project. I've opened the docu web app here. And the first thing we do, or rather what I have done, is go into the project settings. I created a pin category called construction progress under the color blue. It's relatively simple, but this way I can distinguish all my construction progress pins from the other pins in the future. Yes, I've already placed a few pins here on this plan. You can see that you can simply place a pin in every room here, or at least section by section, depending on how you want to do it. You can place a pin. This is what we've done here. And here, continuously throughout the section of the construction project, take photos. So you can either take individual photos here like this. For example, today I took 3 more photos. But you can also, and this has proven very effective lately, take 360-degree photos. The advantage is that you really only need to take 1 photo each day. And I'll show you that briefly. It looks like this. Here's a photo of my office. You can rotate it smoothly like this here. So this is of course ideal if you have such a camera. It's really well suited, especially for this use case of construction progress documentation. Otherwise, I have taken individual photos here. Exactly, and in the other pin it's very similar. And that's basically how you continuously do your documentation. Then it's important, if you want to create a report regularly, say once a week, just go to the pin list here and simply filter by category. That's mainly why we created this category, so you can easily filter out all the other pins. Right now we only have these 2 anyway. Additionally, it would also make sense to be able to sort by last modified. And there we could say, so that we can easily find only the pins where we actually did something this week, or we could say last week. Yes, you can do that now as well. It will probably show that was last week. I didn't change anything there, but it's really quite useful for that. And then another very important point, if for example you are creating a report from the pins that I created today, then you click Add Pins to Report here. Then I select Construction Progress. This week or something like that. I choose my template and then I can still, because you have, yes, in that pin you've taken a lot of photos over the past months or years, so you don't want all the photos from the last 16 weeks, but only the photos from this week or from the last 2. Then here under media you can't just select all, meaning everything, but you can choose from this week or from this year, or you can also enter an exact date range just so you can basically exclude the photos you don't need, the ones that are already passed, simply so that these reports don't get too large. And there are hundreds of photos because over time the photos really start to pile up in these pins. And that's why we built this feature specifically for this use case. Then you create the report. You can look at it later. It will appear here as soon as it's finished. And yes, that is essentially the exact way that you can track the overall progress of the project. This is also what the report looks like when it's finished, with a cover page, table of contents. Here we still have the overview report. That was the template with the overview plan. Here we've displayed the pins like this, the partial view of the plan with the pins, and then the photos, which in this case are shown small. Here we can see that the 360 degrees photos are also displayed in SOGI like this. Yes, that's basically everything on this topic. So maybe it's important for you to have a quick summary. First, we created a category called Construction Progress. Pins with this category were then used to continuously take photos throughout the construction project. A very practical second point for you is the 360-degree camera for this use case. And thirdly, when you create a report, it's important that you can also filter the media here. So, for example, you can select only the photos from today or from the past week or the last 3 weeks, so that the report doesn't get too overloaded over time. Yes, and those were the most important tips on how to best master this use case with the documentation tool. Ciao, see you. Until next time.